This one right here, it took me a while to learn. And in all truth, I am still learning. I was always the busy one. But the reality was I was not always moving forward. I call it treadmill activity. You're walking and running, but going nowhere fast. Hey dreamers, welcome to today's episode of Dream in Action, the podcast where dreaming is not a bad word. And taking action on that dream, yeah, we pretty much threw a party for that because it means you are pretty badass. Speaking of celebrations, today is our 50th episode. And that little fact has got me in a pretty reflective mode today. I'm thinking back on the purpose for my doing this and what meaning this podcast carries for me. A fact you may not know is that I came to podcasting around when I was still grieving my official segue from music. Expressing my faith and creativity through music was a big part of what I did for such a long time that I wasn't completely sure who I was without it. So here I was feeling a little lost, or maybe not a little, maybe more lost than I care to admit. And it felt like divorcing one husband and marrying another, but keeping my name, which I did, by the way, as I continue to be known as TRE, which was my stage name. This podcast has truly taken me on a journey of self-discovery and grace. From episode 1 to the incredible interviews and guests, which, don't worry, I will be bringing that segment back again in due course. And to the rebrand from Girl Unlimited to Dream in Action. All in all, I remain truly grateful that I get to create something of value every week. And to you who listens, thank you. My greatest reward for doing this is knowing that I could potentially be helping you live a bold, meaningful, and purpose-filled life. And that is worth its weight in gold. And I pray I get to keep doing this for a long time to come. Okay, on to today's episode. Today's episode is a continuation from where we left off in episode 49, which is the last episode. We were exploring the dream flow, which is my 6-step framework to literally flow from dream to action. Not struggle from dream to action, not barely making it from dream to action, but flow from dream to action. This is the framework you need to help you build a business and a life that truly aligns with your dream. It also positions you to make money if what you're building is a business. And I tend to focus on this quite a bit because the majority of people I work with, this is why they come to me. Okay, so last week we covered the first 2 foundational steps of the Dream Flow framework, and that was clarity and desire. Without those, my friend, nothing else we're going to talk about will work. You cannot build and sustain anything of worth if you do not first work on you. Clarity handles the noise and chaos, and then desire handles the will and the why. Or in other words, your will and your why. So if you've landed here and haven't listened to the last episode, episode 49, then I urge you to go back and listen to that and then come back here because this one builds on top of that. Today, we're going to be going deeper into the guts of dream building because the next 2 steps, they are the ones that can make or break your progress. We're talking about energy and time. How you protect your internal power, and how you stop treating your dream like it is an afterthought. My name is TRE, and this is the Dream in Action podcast. Have you ever felt like you were just existing, not truly living? Like you were made for more, but somehow life got in the way? Hey, I'm TRE, your host, transformational coach, and dream doula. Welcome to Dream in Action, the podcast where we don't just talk about dreams, we bring them to life.
For years, I nurtured others, first as my mom's oldest child, then as a mother myself. And then somewhere along the way, I lost me, stuck in autopilot. But I was never able to shake the fact that my mom passed away at just 42, full of unfulfilled dreams. And I knew I couldn't keep waiting. So I embraced the stretch, took action, and found opportunities in places I never expected. Now, I help women over 40 do the same. Stop waiting, start dreaming, and take bold action. If you're ready to go from feeling stuck to building something meaningful, you're in the right place. This is Dream in Action.
So let's talk energy, also known as protecting the vessel. And by vessel, I mean you, just so we're on the same page. We protect the vessel with two non-negotiables: rest and replenish. Now, I know high-achieving dreamers like you and I are notoriously bad at doing this. And honestly, it's not your fault. We've been wired for responsibility. You are the go-to person. You are the strong one. You are the fixer. So you tend to take care of yourself only after you've handled everything else and everyone else. But here's the problem. Your dream can't run on empty. It needs a nourished, energized version of you, not the scraps of your strength. There's this beautiful visual I came across recently. Imagine a teacup that is nearly empty, still trying to pour into 5 or 6 other cups. That right there is the definition of burnout. And that, unfortunately, is most of us. Now, picture that same teacup, but this time full to overflowing, so much so that it flows into the saucer. And then not even pouring into others from itself, but pouring from the saucer, aka the overflow. Now that is the goal. To keep your cup so full, so your dream and everyone who benefits from it is served from the overflow and not from the depletion. So what do I mean by rest? Now, I'm not talking about crashing on the couch when your body gives up. I mean scheduling rest moments, making rest sacred, treating it like a non-negotiable appointment with your future self. Ask yourself, what makes me feel rested? Is it breath work? Is it cat naps, gratitude journaling, or maybe a combination of things? For me, breath work and meditation have been game changers. When it comes to meditation, I personally use an app called Abide, which is a Christian meditation app. I choose to use that one because it aligns with my faith and helps me focus on scripture and stillness, which is my favorite thing to do in the world. If you're curious about this app, I will pop a link into the show notes to their free 30-day guest pass, which gives you access to their premium content. Now, here is the secret sauce. Don't wait until you feel tired to rest. That is reactionary. But rest from a proactive angle. And what that looks like is banking energy for the moments when you really need it. I suggest factoring this into your mornings around when you wake up and at night as a night routine. Come back and thank me later. Bottom line, make your rest time sacred. Now let's talk replenishment. This is about the things you do that energize you and not drain you. And these activities will be personal to you. For some people, replenishment is exercise. And yes, I do believe everyone should move their bodies regularly for fitness. That's foundational. But I'm talking about activities that bring you back to life emotionally, that light you up creatively, that restore your joy. Think about it like Julia Cameron's Artist Dates, which you can find in her best-selling book, The Artist's Way. These dates, in a nutshell, are solo outings that feed your creative spirit. For some, it is going to museums or galleries. For others, it is coloring, or maybe walking like me, or watching comedy. I have a client who loves going to football matches, and that's her thing. So think, what actually fills you up? What activity feels like soul food and not another box to tick? Feel free to experiment and don't forget to have fun in the process. Because when your energy is low, your dream feels heavy. But when your cup is full, the opposite is the case. Your dreams feel lighter. Your decisions get clearer. Your consistency becomes less about discipline and more from a place of desire. So here's your dream doula nudge. Schedule your rest before your work. Book your joy session before your strategy and protect the vessel that carries something sacred, because it does. And if you're saying, T, I don't have time to rest or replenish, like you call it, then that right there is your red flag, because you cannot afford not to rest or replenish. Okay, let's move on to time. That's the fourth step in the dream flow framework. This one right here, it took me a while to learn. And in all truth, I am still learning. I was always the busy one. But the reality was, I was not always moving forward. I call it treadmill activity. You're walking and running, but going nowhere fast. You end the day exhausted, and your dream is still sitting in the same spot. Now, I want to introduce to you 2 time mastery techniques I've learned personally and now I teach to my clients, along with one more popular technique that can help you decide where to spend your precious and arguably the most valuable resource we have, which is time, of course. The first technique is own your time by taking stock. You cannot manage what you haven't measured. So the first step to doing this is simple and maybe a little confronting, and that is, where is your time actually going? Your time is your currency, and every minute you spend is an investment into something. There is almost no successful individual I know right now, and I'm sure it's the same for you, who doesn't account for how they spend their time. They understand that time equals money, and that equals momentum. Yes, they even schedule downtime. They block out gym sessions, Netflix nights, date nights, naps, time with their children, all of it. Not to become robotic, but to become intentional. Now, let me put your heart at rest. This isn't about perfection. It's about clarity. When you start tracking your time, even for just a few days, you'll start to see the leaks, the golden windows you didn't know you had, the difference between busy work and actual dream work. And once you begin to see it, you can start to change it. Now, the second technique is wield your calendar like a sword in the hand of a skilled soldier. Okay, I know that is a bit too dramatic, but this one right here is a total game changer. Schedule your dream time in your calendar. Don't leave it to chance. If your dream is important, then it deserves a slot in your calendar, not just a wish in your mind. And here's the secret sauce with this one. Sprinkle in buffer time. Why? Because life happens. You'll realize you've run out of milk and need to dash to the shop, or your child comes with a math question that turns into a 15-minute sit-down session. Or you may have a call that will run long, or traffic will hit. Buffer time is what helps your schedule breathe. It's what makes your dream time realistic and not rigid. And no, once again, it's not going to be perfect. There will be days when emergencies will hit and your whole schedule will go out the window. That's just life. But if you're showing up more often than not when it is in your control, then you're winning. And don't underestimate those small sacred chunks of time. Even 30 focused minutes a week can move your dream forward if you're consistent. And here's the additional technique or tool, if you prefer to call it that. It is the Eisenhower Matrix, aka the priority sorter. This is a more popular one, but it is still gold. It is a simple method to help you decide what actually deserves your time. You divide tasks into urgent plus important. These are the tasks to do now. Not urgent, but important. These require scheduling. And this is often where your dream work sits. Urgent, but not important. These need to be delegated, minimized, or automated. And then the not urgent and not important, these need to be deleted or reduced to a bare minimum. Most of us live in box 1 and 3, but the dream building part of it lives in box 2. That's the stuff you must protect at all costs. Here are a few more dream doula nudges for you. Do all preferably, but at least pick one and take action on it. Track your time for 2 to 3 days. Just notice where it is going. Schedule one 30-minute dream session this week and protect it with your life. And don't forget to sprinkle some buffer time because life will be lifing. And don't forget, mastery isn't about doing it perfectly. It's about doing it on purpose. Time is a tool. When you use it wisely, you'll start to see momentum and not just motion. So that is step 3 and 4 of the Dream Flow framework, energy and time. Let me say it again. These are the ones that sneak up on you. So do not underestimate them, because it is one thing to want the dream. It is another thing entirely to protect the energy and carve out time to actually build it. And if this is hitting home for you and you are ready to go deeper with real direction, not just reflection, then I want to invite you to book a dream clarity session with me. I did these a few months ago and they were so much fun. This is especially if you have already downloaded the Dream Activation Kit and you feel ready to go a little deeper. The Dream Clarity session is a one-to-one session where we'll walk through the first 2 steps of the Dream Flow framework. That is getting crystal clear on what you really want. We'll cover exploring the true desire behind the dream and then identifying what's been keeping you stuck. You walk away with renewed clarity, a mindset shift, and practical steps you can start immediately. These sessions are currently available at a 50% discount for a limited time only, and that's because I want this to be as accessible to as many people as possible, especially for those who are ready to move from dreaming to doing. DM me the word clarity on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram handle in the show notes, or click the link in the show notes to book your session now. Let's take your dream out of your head and into motion. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep daring, and keep moving toward your spark. And that's it for today's episode of Dream in Action. I hope this conversation stirred something in you, maybe a fresh idea, a little more clarity, or just a reminder that your dreams are valid and worth pursuing. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new one. And if you're feeling generous, leaving a review helps people find this podcast. It's like telling the algorithm, hey, this is worth listening to. So if this spoke to you today, and you don't even do any of the other 2, please share it with a friend or 2. Before we go, let me leave you with one of my favorite Bible verses of all time. Never doubt
God's mighty power to work in you and accomplish all this. He will achieve infinitely more than your greatest request, your most unbelievable dream, and exceed your wildest imagination. He will outdo them all, for his miraculous power constantly energizes you. Ephesians 3:20. Until next time, dream wildly, live boldly, and keep going.